Greetings. Greetings from Storybrooke. I'm Bill Meeks.
And I'm Marie DeSimone.
And this is exactly the podcast you should... Actually, I think I'm in the wrong doc. Am I in the wrong doc?
No, you're in the right doc.
Okay, we're going to start again, folks. We did this last week. Hold on.
Those of you that are live, hi.
Hold on. Boop, boop.
We're
Yeah, we were having
crazy.
some technical issues. Okay.
And now we can't.
Greetings from Storybrooke. I'm Bill Meeks.
And I'm Marie DeSimone.
And this is exactly the podcast you should fight, but you're only listening... See, no, this is the wrong thing.
No, well, then you just didn't change it.
Okay, hold on one second, folks. I know I have one written down here. Great. We had to have one off.
Where's the vodka? Where's the vodka?
Let's see here. I know I marked one.
Has he started yet?
No. And I'm drinking tea.
Nice. Me too.
Nice. I like to listen to what the yogi tea tells me now. It says, joy is the essence of success. Really, we're joyful here, so where's the success? I love it. Patty's telling us, it's fine. Don't panic. We got this.
Too late. We are already so panicked. It's ridiculous. Okay.
Are we live?
Breathe.
Score. We're live.
No, it's fine. YouTubers, sorry about that. We're usually much more professional. Okay, here we go. Try one more time. Greetings from Storybrooke. I'm Bill Meeks.
And I'm Marie DeSimone.
And this is a problem that can be solved with a little bit of ice cream. We also talk about ABC's hit series Once Upon a Time. How you doing, Anne-Marie?
It's spectacular now that was the opening.
Yeah, we had a couple little technical issues with the video setup going into it.
The reading setup.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. You know what? Right here at the top, we should probably mention, if you have been checking us out live, Monday nights generally we record around 8:30. It's 8:45 now.
8:30, yes.
But next week, because Anne-Marie is going to be out of town on business, we're going to be going Tuesday night at 8:30. And instead of Anne-Marie, Hope, if you guys know Hope, will be joining us as the second host, and Bobby Hawk will be the guest. So
oh, cool. I didn't know Bobby was on.
It'll be one Other Annemarie short of an all-star listeners greetings from Storybrooke cast. Actually, you know what? We do have Other Annemarie here. Annemarie adavelaar. How you doing?
Yay!
I am doing great. Happy Thanksgiving from the Great White North.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to our Canadian friends.
If people don't remember from last year, the several times you guessed it, you are from Canada. We forgive you.
Really?
What's wrong with the Canadians?
No, actually, I'm from the Netherlands, but I forgive you.
Oh.
I knew that, too. I knew that. But, yeah, it's Canadian Thanksgiving, so thank you for taking time from your, I don't know, do you guys do dinner, or do you just like
Yeah.
a tree and just...
No. We have the dinner, but I had it yesterday with friends, so we're all good.
Friendsgiving.
Friendsgiving.
Yep.
Well, nice. Thank you very much for joining us. And just to let everyone know, if you want to join us as a guest, you can sign up at bit.ly/beyondgreeting. I guess we should go ahead and get into this week's episode. Anne-Marie, why don't you take it first, Anne-Marie? Anne-Marie Prime.
Prime. Nice. This happens every time.
Yeah.
Okay. The Snow Queen here in her white gooey glory. Regina and Henry aim to change up the story. Elsa and Kristoff search for the urn. Han seeks revenge since his ambitions were spurned. Emma hates Hook. At least that's how it seems. She's trying to protect him, but she's being so mean. Marion's a freeze pop. Robin's in grief mode. The ice wall still stands in this week's Rocky Road.
Rocky Road.
And I really read urn as rum in my head.
Did you? It sounded like you stopped on that word.
That's because I thought it said rum and that didn't make sense. Okay, so that's how this week's going to go.
It'll be fine. Patty's in the chat telling me not to stress. I'm telling her I'm totally freaking out. It's cool. Okay, I guess
totally freaking out.
I guess we should start with our guest, Other Annemarie. What did you think of this episode?
Well, it took me a little while to get into it, but about halfway through, I thought it started picking up. So by the end, I was really happy about it.
Excellent. And yeah, it was definitely one of those that Like it seemed like it was going to be about the same quality as last week's for maybe the first 10 minutes, then it kind of ramped up really quick.
Yeah, I was really afraid of that, but they did. In the end, it was fine.
Oh yeah, I was actually kind of losing the faith a little bit before the episode aired last night.
He was preaching bad
I
things.
was like, we're canceling Greetings from Storybrooke today because I can't watch.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't actually, but
Yeah, he
I
was
wasn't
giving
bad.
it till Christmas. I'm not gonna lie.
No, but I was also watching it with non-wansers, so that made it even harder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you said that you were with was it friends or family, and
Friends.
they were all like very down on the show, kind of.
Yeah, except for one, but everybody else was. So it made it even harder to really get into it.
Okay, Annemarie Prime, what did you think of the episode overall?
There were good elements, there were bad elements. I feel a lot better about it versus last week. Again, love the Frozen, but I think we had just enough of it this week to not make me want to put sharp things in my eyeballs. But yeah, it was definitely an improvement on last week.
I like how I chuckled when you mentioned putting sharp things in your eyeballs. That's fun. I wish we had the little. I know
What are you looking for?
The little thing that she sent us this summer.
Oh, it's upstairs, I think.
I thought it was down here. I was going to show it to the camera.
Oh,
darn. Okay, I guess we'll just get into our main discussion. I guess.
Well, we could just
talk
be
about
like,
once
she
upon a
sent us
time.
a really cool little thing this summer.
Yeah, I think it's on the website somewhere, the Facebook. If you look for it, she sent us a nice little card with a Red Riding Hood and the wolf and stuff on it. Okay, let's see here. The Snow Queen and Emma's history is probably the best place to start tonight.
Okay.
And this is kind of like the last 10 minutes of the episode this comes up. But does she have an actual name or is she just Snow Queen?
She's Snow Queen.
She's Snow Queen. Okay, but she's like, Emma!
And that was only nicknamed by Emma.
What was that?
That was only nicknamed by Emma so far. We don't know what her official name is yet.
We shall see. Wait, actually, it might have slipped in there the first scene at the ice cream shop, like her Storybrooke
I don't think there
name.
was.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think it was just like, hey, nice lady at the ice cream shop.
But long story short, right at the end of the big ice battle in the woods and everything, we find out that Snow Queen knows Emma, and Emma doesn't quite know her, although she's kind of has a hint.
She feels very familiar.
Yeah. Now, right in the wake of the episode, right after we were done with the episode, me and Annemarie were talking about it, and we were thinking it was likely, it was likely that the Snow Queen was Emma's foster mother. Right? You okay?
Patty said, ironically, this week actually made me wish I could put sharp things in my eyeballs.
Ooh,
ouch!
But yeah, that's the prevailing theory in my head, and I think actually a lot of the feedback too, that was kind of the prevailing theory. A couple of things I wanted to note about that. When in that first scene with Robin Hood and Marion in the ice cream shop, she mentions that happy families warm her heart, which I thought was I couldn't quite build the complete connection, but it seemed like that might have something to do with it, or that might be a clue as to what their relationship might have been. Maybe since she's cold, she came in and broke up like a happy foster situation for Emma.
Maybe
could have been,
because it definitely was like, you don't want Emma to remember you.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But
was it?
That's in Emma's past. Wouldn't Emma be a bit more knowing about that then?
Yeah, well, that's another thing is that apparently if the Snow Queen knows Emma, then she probably was around in the real world. What are you smiling?
I'm smiling. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. But she was probably around.
Unless it was the first family that she's with. Didn't she say that she was with the family for about 3 years and then they had their own kids and they gave her back?
Something like that.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. But yeah, that would still take place within the context of the curse time. And supposedly there wasn't any magic in this world then. But then again, we do know that there is a character that we saw a couple seasons ago called the Dragon.
He needs to come back.
But basically,
yes.
A mystical, magical being that Tamara killed back. I think towards the end of season 2, maybe.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe the Snow Queen has some sort of connection to the dragon, or maybe somehow Rumpel sent a couple of magical beings along with the curse with magic. But I don't know. It doesn't quite make sense. Other Annemarie, what do you think about a possible connection to the dragon, or why would Rumple send the Snow Queen to the real world, and what do you think her goal might be?
That was really loaded. I
don't know. I think we're the dragon. I'd love to see him back, but I think right now that storyline is done with. I actually didn't even think about her being the foster mom. I was thinking, did Emma meet her while she and Hook were in Enchanted Forest? But there was not really a lot of time to do that. And wouldn't Hook then know her? And then one of the other ones that I really don't like is actually, did she come in and is there like a future jumping at one point? And I really don't want that. But is that a possibility? Knowing
the time travel
and all that, it's a possibility, but I wouldn't like if they do that. So I don't know.
Yeah, it seems almost like adding another time traveler into the mix might make it a little too complicated, especially since some
wasn't
people
supposed to be any time travel.
Well, it's like I was really pumped about the time travel episode and everything, but some people didn't want that in the show at all.
Yeah,
you know. Do you have any thoughts or insight, Anne-Marie?
I think she was the foster family. It's something related with the foster system. Maybe she worked at the children's home, as they are now called.
Any idea what her task here might have been, or what her goal might be now?
That whole thing has me completely confuddled. I don't know. Her and Rumple seemed really weird at the end too. Like, I don't know how much help they were to each other or want to be to each other. How strong are her snow powers? Because they look really, really strong. So what did she need from him? Or did he need from
Well, did he maybe lock her up in that urn? Because when Hans opened the urn, she came flowing out. And Kristoff was kind of like, didn't you check if there was somebody in there before? Laughing about it. So she was captured at one point, like Elsa was captured. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe Rumple did that.
I have a theory on who might have, but it's down later in the notes. So maybe Anne-Marie Prime. Why don't we go ahead and move on to your point?
Knave!
Yay!
The Knave for all of eternity.
Yes. The one good character from Once Upon a Time in Wonderland is back.
Yay!
Not enough time for him.
There was not enough time. So basically all I really have is welcome back, sir. Glad to have you.
We got a bloody hell.
We did get a bloody hell.
Oh, we did.
Timelines. My issue that I've always had with Wonderland.
Yeah, you're a little confused about why he's there, right?
I want to know. What's going on, because he doesn't broken-hearted Knave. We've seen that guy. So
yeah, he looked like more like pre-Wonderland Knave.
And that's impossible because Wonderland started in season 2, the very beginning of season 2 of Once.
Yeah, and I mean, he only came back to Storybrooke one time during that series. Or did he even come back? Or was that... No, that was Alice and Cyrus who came back to Storybrooke. Yeah,
he never came back.
Once the White Rabbit took took him out of there. Let's see here.
Sorry.
What's that?
Hope reading things. No. Okay. Does he really even care about helping them at all with the ice and the ice cream thing?
I think so. I mean, he's altruistic. I mean, he's very self-serving.
Right. But like, it was very self-serving. He used it to his advantage. But I think he actually cared a little bit, because we learned he's he does have a heart. He's not just a thief.
I also, one thing I noticed, and then Other Annemarie will let you talk. Sorry, we keep it jumping over you. But what was he? Oh yeah, when they catch him in the tent, there was a mention that he had heard about what happened to Marion, and he was there checking out and stuff. Like, I wonder if maybe somehow he found out Robin was back in Storybrooke, and maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe he wants to make amends to.
How's he going to make amends? He's robbing the guy.
Maybe he wasn't robbing the guy.
Well, and didn't he say that he left Robin kind of on bad terms anyway?
Yeah, and I think they showed that. Did they show that in Wonderland or Once Proper last year? I haven't said Once Proper in a while.
No,
that feels
you
weird.
haven't.
By the way, I'm also putting this episode out under the Wonderland feed that we had last year for the Wonderland podcast.
To get those few people that might be on it.
Yeah.
What did you just ask me?
Oh, what did I just ask you?
This is a great podcast. There's so many people talking. I don't know what's going on, but there is another team, Anne-Marie. Hi, Noel. Thanks. They said only true love's kiss or an action can unfreeze a person. They said it in the episode. I like this live time correcting us thing.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I completely forget what I was going to ask you. So why don't we go ahead
Ice
and move
Queen
on?
Can unfreeze him. Good character. Our glorious white king of Wonderland.
Other Annemarie.
I have not read your novel yet.
Other Annemarie, you have a point here. Go ahead.
Yes, go.
Okay, yeah. So I was totally stumped by why Gold was helping while Belle has the real dagger. So that was when Hook came in and asking and said, "Oh, I'm going to tell." And I'm like, okay, but Belle has the real dagger, so you have got no foot to stand on.
I'm trying to remember the exact thing that put it out there, but I'm pretty sure that's the fake dagger.
Yeah, like, I think where we thought he switched, he didn't, because.
However, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, but this was my issue. So we see him use it to get Yensid's head and like head up, and so it's like, okay, so it's possible that he then put it in back with Belle. However, and I don't know if you addressed it later in the notes, so sorry, but when you see the deleted scene that was broadcasted today, that would then explain again, because there it's clear that Belle has the real dagger.
I disagree.
So I'm really confused how things are going now. Like, we have it, or is it with Belle?
Yeah, see that deleted scene, and I definitely, it'll be in the show notes at greetingsfromstorybrooke.com. Maybe if Anne-Marie wants to throw that link in the chat. But if you look in there, yes, he asked for the dagger, but he's not really asking to use it for its magical properties. He's asking to use it just to pick up as a scoop, as a functional thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't remember the exact moment actually, I know exactly what the moment was.
Am I showing the deleted scene in the chat? Sorry, was that what I was doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Share the deleted scene in the chat. But whatchamacallit, the thing that proved it was when she commanded him to tell the truth with the dagger, he said he didn't know anything about Elsa or her sister. And we saw him in the last episode in flashback, or no, 2 episodes back in flashback, looking at Anna as she was traveling to Fairy Tale Land. So obviously he knows at least about Anna, and I mean, we mentioned Anna in that scene. But
but that was back in Fairy Tale Land, and so he might not know right now where she is.
Oh, you were breaking up there a little bit. Other Annemarie,
you were doing the robot while you were talking. We may have lost you.
Hello.
Yeah, so you. Okay, he might not know where she is right now.
It's pretty rough, Other Annemarie. You want to try and disconnect and reconnect real quick? Because it's like, sorry, it's just so bad. We actually have a voicemail we can play while you do that, okay? I hope she heard me. Okay. Yeah, but one thing actually before we get into, because we're going to play a voicemail in the middle, which is weird, right?
Yeah.
But it was very informative. But Belle is really like super Stockholm Syndrome now.
Oh, well, there went my point for later.
Oh, you have that?
I have, well, not that specific statement, but you can talk about it now.
Oh, no, it was just like she wasn't doing anything in the episode. Like, she barely said a word, and she kind of was like down and like.
She never smiled. The dude goes, "And my new wife," and she goes, like, there's not even a smile. She's never happy. There's no emotion or anything in her voice. I don't know what's up with her, because last episode she was very vibrant and full of life.
Yeah, at first I was like, well, are they just not giving her much to work with this episode? Is the actress getting tired of not having much to do?
She really could be.
But then I thought it was so pronounced that it might be a plot point down the road. Like, maybe something happened and he's partially controlling her now too, or maybe he has some sort of like black magic going on with her. But speaking of black magic, I wanted to play this voicemail.
I like that. That was good.
Thank you. But I wanted to play this voicemail from Michael Lucero, who always writes in or sends in a voicemail or whatever. But it had some interesting stuff that I went and did a little research on. But we'll go ahead and play this. Also, I would just like to note that this is like if I was writing a outline or a template for a voicemail for our podcast, it would probably be this one. He hits every point he needs to. You'll see what I mean. One sec.
Okay.
Hey, Bill and Anne-Marie, this is Michael Lucero. I really love this episode. I found the Snow Queen really fascinating. She seems to be kind of a bit bigger of a player than I kind of expected her to be. Apparently almost, though not quite, on the level of Rumple himself. And of course, Rumple knows her and has an idea what her plan is. Very cool. No pun intended. The writing isn't perfect. I'm not really digging Captain Swan at all. Hashtag Team Anne-Marie. But I did find this storyline the most interesting the show has been for ages. I almost gave up on once after last season, as you all know. But I'm glad I didn't. By the way, in case you were wondering, the letters that have been used this whole season for the Frozen storyline are called runes. Which are an actual writing system that were used by the Old Norse people. The writing on the urn is specifically called futharp, which is a word that Elsa actually spoke in the flashback. Just FYI. Love the episode, like I said, and you'll be happy to know that I ran across my house to my phone on hardwood floors, wearing socks. Only to realize that I already had my cell phone in my pocket. So can't wait to hear the podcast. Y'all take care. Bye.
Thank you, Michael. And
Thank
like I said, that was like the textbook example of what we love in voicemails. 424-274-2352 if you ever want to leave one.
Look at
I did
that.
that
You
off the top
finally
of my head.
memorized it. It's only 2 years.
But
Yay, good job.
Thank you. But I just wanted to pull up a couple of things. I did just a little bit of research on this earlier today. This is the picture of the runes on the urn from the episode last night. I went ahead and lightened it up a little bit, pulled out some contrast so I could see what was going on there. And then I found this, and this will be in our show notes. I found the rune site that had a good breakdown of them. And I did a little research, and it might be incomplete. It might be completely wrong, but I thought it was interesting. The first letter there is it's Laguz, which is basically like the L in these runes, and it stands for water, emotion, fears, and female. So all totally makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second letter looked like an Isa or an I, and it stands for ice, lock, stagnant, patience, and rest. And 3 and 4, I wasn't quite sure. They could have been the D, which stands for day, and it also represents light and dark. But then the very interesting thing is in here. I'll pull it up again. 1 second. And obviously, you'll just go to the episode if you want to take a look at the runes on the urn in more detail. Mm-hmm. But the thing I noticed about it is it's a mirror image of itself. So I'm thinking maybe the left side stands for Elsa and the right side stands for Snow Queen maybe. Because like I said, it's a mirror image, and it basically goes like water woman, ice, day, then day, ice, water woman, something like that, something along those lines. And like I said, I've never studied runes in the least. I have no idea what I'm doing. I Googled it.
See, and saying runes, all I can Harry Potter in my house, or in my head, my house, it's all the same, that they studied ancient runes.
But yeah, we'll have all that stuff over at the show notes at greetingsfromstorybrooke.com to check out. And before we get back into the main discussion, we're so glad that we're able to get reconnected here. We wanted to go ahead and mention... Yay! That was sick.
It's a problem. Okay, so yes, we would like to share this awesome, cool opportunity of Greetings from Storybrooke t-shirts.
T-shirts, yes.
Order your t-shirt today.
Yeah, we don't know if you noticed, but we have new album art, a new logo and everything. You're seeing the yellow version on the t-shirt here that we'll be switching to once the Frozen storyline's over. But that's what we're putting on the t-shirt. And Sebastian, my friend Sebastian, designed the logo for us. And he did it out of the kindness of his heart. He volunteered to do it. And we wanted to help pay him back a little bit. And we also wanted t-shirts with our podcast on them.
Yeah, we really
Because it would be cool to wear while we're recording our podcast, right?
Right, especially seeing as how I'm wearing the Gotham hoodie right now.
Yeah.
That's not this podcast.
Nice hoodie, by the way.
Oh, we love them. They're soft and nice. And cute. But yeah, it comes in 3 colors: green, red, and blue, and they're a men's cut and a woman's cut, and they're $18 a piece. I know it's a little pricey, but it lasts forever. I have t-shirts that are 20 years old.
Sick.
Yeah, it is completely and totally sick. But one of the things that we were trying to do to kind of maybe motivate you guys to get some of these, because we have 2 weeks from today. I believe it's like the 26th or something. And we have to sell 30 of them if they're going to do the print run. So we thought we'd sweeten the pot a little bit. And if we can sell all 30 of them, we're going to do 2 drinking game style commentaries. One for Tallahassee, the notorious Haterade episode, the first episode we ever
completely hated.
We're going to revisit Tallahassee, and we're going to let you guys vote on the second commentary we do. We have to sell all 30 shirts for that to happen. Although we're thinking...
Get them sold, right?
What's that?
You're trying to get them sold, right?
We thought people enjoyed us being a little belligerent.
Slightly belligerent.
Maybe.
Yeah, but if you want to check that out, it's at teespring.com/Storybrooke, and the link will be in the show notes too. Okay, now back to what I was thinking in terms of who put the Snow Queen in the urn.
Okay.
It comes back to what the Snow Queen's strategy seems to be once she runs into Elsa in the old country, right? Mm-hmm. She very much, I kind of think she's trying to drive a wedge between Anna and Elsa.
Yes, that was pretty obvious.
And that earlier scene, the flashback scene, the thing that kind of stuck out to me, I think that it was Elsa and Anna's mother who put the Snow Queen in the urn.
Do you think she's really related?
I do.
Well, yeah. Do you really think that she's the sister of their mother, or do you think that she's still Anna's or Elsa's mother? Lied about that.
Interesting.
I'm assuming because last season with the Wicked Witch, I thought it was a fake out. I thought the whole relation thing was a fake out. So I've kind of just learned to trust that if they say someone's related, they probably are, and if they don't, they probably still are on this show.
I don't know. I wonder.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like. We're gonna be on opposite sides of the coin on this one. I don't think she's really related.
Oh,
I think she's just evil.
Oh yeah, that's totally a fair position. I mean, I even have several notes in my notebook here.
Oh, your handy dandy notebook.
Yeah, but mentioning that, yeah, she might be lying.
Yeah.
But I kind of came to see that I think that because the Snow Queen had a bad relationship, if it's true, with her sister / their mother, that she's going to try and create the same sort of rivalry between Elsa and Anna. First of all, by going to travel and trying to say, and then tricking Anna into putting Elsa into the urn. So that's was my thought, and I definitely think that no matter what, because the Snow Queen mentions in this episode that Anna put Elsa into the urn. I definitely think it's going to be a situation where Anna feels she has to do that to protect Elsa somehow.
Yeah,
probably. So you do think that Anna put Elsa in the urn?
I think it's a possibility.
Well, like a lot of times with villains on this show, like they generally don't lie, but they'll tell the truth in a conniving or like a evil or manipulative way. So, or they won't tell the whole truth to serve their own ends. So I if I was a betting man, I would bet $10 that it was the truth, but not the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Okay, Annemarie, you want to touch a little more on Belle here?
Yeah, there's not really much more to say other than what we said. Hold on, let me pull up some from the chat there that sort of went with it. Patty was like, well, they were accusing her husband of trapping a woman in an urn. How exactly should she have reacted? And my theory is that's really not the worst thing he's done. She didn't react at all. Like, there was no like, oh my gosh, how could you accuse my husband? Or yeah, he's the dark one. He does that like move, gesture.
There wasn't
shake
even
your
like
ponytail.
There wasn't even like a cuddle. Like when he mentioned my wife.
No, they're not even standing close to each other.
No, they at all points, including the deleted scene, they're so very standoffish and awkward. And I think it really may have a lot to do with this whole dagger situation because she never wanted the dagger.
Yeah.
He was giving it as, a sign of good faith or whatever, but there is no good faith because it's a lie.
See, yeah, that definitely made me think that just because it was so extreme.
The dagger is a lie.
But just because Belle's reaction and everything was so extreme, it makes me wonder if it is a plot point. And maybe if I know it's the big Beauty and the Beast joke and everything, the Stockholm Syndrome thing, but maybe they're going to play that angle, which I think would be interesting. What do you think, Other Annemarie?
It's just right now they're really weird, and I agree with Anne-Marie. It's just they're newlyweds. Yes, I know she has an issue with the dagger, but then she should bring it up with him. Like, I don't care if they do it off screen or on screen, but address it and get over it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, Other Annemarie, you had a point here you wanted to bring up about Emma and her control of her magic. Hello?
Other Annemarie?
Well, yeah, she keeps complaining about how.
Oh, I think you're gonna have to drop off and reconnect. I'm sorry about that. Hold on, I'll get you a fresh link into that little chat window we have going on, and you can try and rejoin in a second. 1 second here. Yeah, and we'll go ahead and move on to my point. Come back to hers.
Oh, and I was gonna say, let's jump onto mine.
Okay, go ahead.
My other one.
That's fine.
Dear Elizabeth Mitchell, do you have any range or emotion whatsoever? Don't throw things at me.
Yeah,
I found her so boring. Oh my gosh.
We were talking about this in the lead up to the recording, and the thing is, like, over in our feedback section, the response to Elizabeth Mitchell is pretty much across the board. She was fantastic.
And they all probably watched Lost, and they're carrying over their happy feelings. I'm not yelling at y'all. I understand, but I hated her.
I wanted to bring in a counterpoint here, though.
All right, counterpoint.
I felt the same way. I definitely felt the same way. I felt her performance was wooden. It just, there wasn't a whole character there, That being said, I said the same exact thing about Elsa 2 episodes ago, and she really impressed me in tonight's episode.
Really?
Yeah.
And it was last night.
Last night's episode. But no, I really loved her in last night's episode.
See, I never really had that big of a problem with Elsa.
It kind of felt like she had you did.
I
actually,
did?
yeah.
Okay.
But it seemed like she had relaxed into the role a little bit more and everything. So even though I definitely agree with you on Elizabeth Mitchell, like I could definitely see her kind of warming into the role a little more.
Warming into the role?
Yes.
Can we get rid of the collar thing that's on her costume?
Yeah,
because that is really distracting. She's a great actress. I think the actor is more due to the character's cold reserved personality. Here comes the defenses, Michael. I knew it would be coming. I don't know. And I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure she's a great actress. I'm not familiar with anything else she's ever done.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it was intentional. But I found it extremely boring to watch.
Yeah, I definitely. I'm sure a lot of our listeners came into the situation with warm fuzzies for Elizabeth Mitchell. But we don't necessarily have that. So
right.
She still kind of has to win us over a little bit, where most other people by default, she's awesome because she was great in this previous role and everything.
Right. See, and Hope, I disagree. The Ice Queen is poised, calm, and quiet to the point where she draws you in, and I'm like, no. She didn't draw me, and she actually repelled me. So there's that.
Yeah,
there hasn't been a quiet villain. You're right, but
speaking of a quiet villain, though, like, did you notice how soft-spoken Rumpel was this episode? Like he was just like very. He was also very subdued.
Yeah. What's with this episode?
I don't know.
Everyone was just like, nah.
I loved it, but it was weird.
Yeah.
It was absolutely weird. Absolutely loved it.
We still don't have her back.
Yeah, we still don't have her back.
Really good point she had too.
I know, and I don't want to talk about it without her.
Right.
Here, I'll try and paste the link over to her again.
I totally agree with Michael. She is the Ice Queen. Okay, apparently I need to read Ice Queen because now he's jumping on that bandwagon.
Everyone's leaning on you.
Everyone's leaning on me. Jeez, guys.
Jeez Louise.
I don't even have any chocolate.
Okay, I guess we should probably go ahead and address the Captain Swan, the Emma and Hook stuff this episode. As somebody who advocated for this ship for most of last year until it actually went down and happened and the kiss happened and everything.
You hate it now, don't you?
I thought this was completely pointless. Like I thought
so bad.
their entire plot line this episode, I just hate it. Like it was
it
just
made
like
sense, but I still didn't like it.
Like obviously at the end of the episode they kind of come to an agreement on things to move forward, and hopefully this will change moving forward. But I expected them to be happy for at least the first few episodes this season, and they're just not. And also something else that kind of upset me was that Emma and what was I going to say?
I don't know.
Wait,
talk.
Sorry, you're distracting me a little bit.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, but what did you think about the Emma and Hook?
Nah. I mean, I enjoy it. I push the Emma button and she usually answers. That was
funny. A great joke.
That was hilarious. It was beautifully done. Also, what is he doing? Using a hook to press the button? Because I don't see him being a one-handed texter yet. No, it just...
He hits it with his wrist.
Yeah.
She was kind of mean to him too. Like
she was extremely mean to him, and I can understand. Like she's trying to push him away to pull him closer in a sense because she's afraid of everyone dying, and she's trying to protect him. This is not how you protect Captain Hook.
Yes,
he's Captain Hook. Like he's kind of been doing some stuff. He knows what's up. He's a little bit stronger than any of the other people that you dated that died.
Yeah, and that's one of two big sort of Other Annemarie, are you back with us?
I see a Canadian.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry to keep dropping off.
Oh no, it's fine.
Okay.
It happens. But you had a good point about another kind of parallels with the confidence issue Emma's having. You want to talk about her magic and your issues with it?
Well, yeah, she keeps complaining about how she can't control it. She talks to Elsa about it and that they have similar things. And then here she comes in and sees the Snow Queen and goes, let's see if I can do this. Whoosh, there goes the Snow Queen. And then all the ice fells, and whoosh, there Hook and David are being, whisked off out of danger. And I was like, you had control issues with your magic? Excuse me? I don't get it.
Yeah, that's something that I thought was really weird this episode is the other side of her kind of doubts about herself was that whole savior aspect and the magic and everything. But it seemed like, the more she doubted herself in this episode, the better she loved it,
I kind of have slight thoughts on that. I think it came out of emotion. Anytime she's really tried to use them when it wasn't something severe happening, haven't worked.
Yeah,
she couldn't just dig into the ice wall because she wanted to dig into the ice wall. Something had to trigger her emotionally. So almost every single time that Emma's used her magic, something emotional has been happening in her.
And in that case, it was her dad and her boyfriend.
Yes,
under
their
some
lives
icicles.
were right. Well, the icicles could have killed them.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but it was definitely do you think your magic can go up to mine, up against mine? And she's like, well, let's see. Bam. And I'm like, okay, I know that Hook and her dad were off on the other side under the icicles, but it just felt very, like she didn't feel as emotional as she did at any of the other points. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it could definitely be an issue, kind of like an adrenaline thing too. Because I mean, even though it's magic, I'm sure there's still some sort of biological component to it. So it could be kind of like that flight or fight reaction, and maybe that's why she threw them maybe 10 extra feet than she needed to.
Right.
But let's see here. Okay. Actually, if you want to, Other Annemarie, we can keep going with your point you have listed here under I.
Okay, so yeah, I basically wrote down the entire town is against Snow. It doesn't feel like David is next to her, although he was in the mayor's office, but she seems to be doing it all alone, although she keeps saying, I'm fine. But I don't know, it's like there's this anti-Snow campaign going on, and I don't understand why, and so some things get resolved really quickly, like Emma and David already know what happened at the ice cream shop and all that stuff. But in the meantime, Snow is off to the side trying to figure things out, and the town is like pitchforking it out against her. And I'm kind of like done with that now.
Yeah, I did love seeing them with having the pitchforks and torches moment, though, because
they really had a lot of pitchforks and torches moments.
When was the last time we saw that?
When there was literal pitchforks and torches.
Yes.
Right?
It was Red and King George, maybe. There's a lot of kings. I can't keep them straight. He wasn't nice.
Well, you know, concerning the town people, they have seemed a little off this season, and I heard a kind of an interesting theory about that.
Share with the group.
Yes, please.
Well, you know, all these curses and everything, they affect memory, right? Where do you store your memories? In your brain. Maybe they're getting brain damaged. Or maybe they're getting brain damage from all the memory curses, or maybe the longer they stay in Storybrooke on this curse, the more they lose their fairy tale selves and become more like, and they're slowly turning back into their Storybrooke selves.
But they were in Storybrooke for 28 years.
On a different curse, though. Every curse is different, as Regina says this episode.
Every curse is very different. I don't know.
I thought it was an interesting theory, but I like what you were saying there about Snow, too. And I kind of came up with a theory of my own for maybe Snow's plot line this season, based on a couple of those things. Like, because you can definitely see her, she's getting frustrated with everything that's going on in her life. The being mayor isn't going very well.
She didn't know she was mayor. Like...
But she was queen, though, so being mayor shouldn't be a big deal for her.
For like 2 weeks.
Yeah, she
until the curse happened.
Yeah, she was pregger too.
But whatchamacallit, and then, you know, she's having issues with the baby and everything like that. I think what's going on right now is that little black spot that she got on her heart when she had Regina kill her mom, I think that's going to grow throughout the course of this half season, at least, if not the full season. And a combination of that black spot, increased power, is going to kind of build Snow and take her in a very kind of dark direction. And maybe she might be a villain by the time we're done with this kind of storyline. What do you think, Other Annemarie? We'll start with you.
Snow is a villain? Nope.
No, you don't think?
Not gonna happen.
I love it.
Nope. I don't think so. The black spot never did get resolved, which is kind of odd because it was a big plot point in, I think, was it season 2, right before they went to Neverland, and they kind of never did resolve that. So that it could be, but right now I'm just waiting for her to burst even more so than she did last week, and just, you know, I don't know. All of a sudden finds that she's got magic or something crazy like that, and, you know, something happens. I don't know.
You know what I think's really going to make her take a villainous turn, though, is the fact that Archie didn't help her with that stroller.
That's what Bobby just said. He's like, why didn't Archie help Snow?
I know!
He was just like, let it go. Peace.
Yeah. Again, he had to make the let it go.
Why was the baby not in the car while she dealt with the stroller?
Because she won't put him down, which he sort of, we don't have this anywhere, so I'm going to just go off on a mommy tangent. She didn't want to put that baby down because he put Emma down and she lost her. The first time she put Emma down, she lost her. So she's not putting that baby down for nothing. Yeah. And he basically says, you have to put the baby down. And in my notes, I wrote, Snow needs a mom's night out. So apparently we're going to go back to season 1 where
they go to the White Rabbit.
Yeah. It was her and Cinderella.
Well, she didn't even let David hold the baby.
No. Again, because she gave the baby to David. Oh, actually, we can do this 2 things. First of all, she gave Emma to David. Oops, there goes Emma to a foreign land for 28 years. The second she had this baby, the Wicked Witch took it from her. Yeah. And they had to fight to get the baby back. Sorry, Mama Bear mode, I'm not putting that baby down for anything. I may have put the baby in the car seat and set it next to me while I tried to close the ridiculous stroller because they're all the same. They're evil. But there's that.
Okay. Well,
sorry, mom tangent.
We'll see how it plays out. Like I think that would be an interesting take. I think it would make a lot of people angry, but in a good way, in a kind of like in a challenging way.
It would give emotion.
But we'll see how it goes. Now, as far as emotions are concerned, one of the big emotions on this show is true love, and there was a true love's kiss misfire in this episode. Annemarie wanted to talk about
that. Was not true love.
Exactly.
But, and it was brought up in there. I don't really know. Is this my point or whose point are we
It's
on?
your point.
Okay, I was just double checking. Was it really the ice blocking it? Because we did talk about Frederick and the gold and people going, who, the what? Don't worry about it.
See, I read that as Charming knowing exactly what was going on and trying to help cover for him.
Oh.
That's because he just like jumped in there real quick. Oh, I saw that with Frederick. You know, like
that was not quite Zen Charming.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that. I could see that. I mean, I don't believe it was true love's kiss. He basically says once everybody's out of the room, because who leaves the frozen lady? The whole town just up and left the frozen lady.
Well, I think that's why part of the reason Robin Hood just kind of had like this look on his face the whole episode, like because he was just wrecked. He knew, and everyone's laughing. That's fine. Finish your laughing.
I can't.
If nothing else, go to YouTube and check out the face I just made to the camera. It was good.
It was amazing.
No, but I think
no. But I actually agree with Annemarie.
Oh, Other Annemarie, you're breaking up real bad.
I agree with Annemarie. There was really true love, and I know that because Robin.
Oh! Did we lose her?
I think we might have. Yeah. Here, I'll
nope,
try and get that.
I'm here.
Oh! Hey!
Okay, there we go.
Okay. The moment that Robin kissed her, I looked at it and went, his love is divided. Like, he loves Marion, but he also loves Regina. And because he loves both, it can't be true love's kiss for Marion.
Well, my thinking is he still loves Marion because he's loved Marion and remembered Marion fondly for years and years and years. But I mean, or, you know, as long as she's been dead. But, you know, as time moves on and you march on from something like that and you kind of put it behind you, if it falls back in your lap, you're either going to get really excited immediately and jump right into the relationship and be all for it and be so happy about it, or you're going to hem and haw and have that face that I just did to the camera.
Do it again.
Like that. But, you know, you're just going to be like torn up about it, especially if you have someone new. Right. And we see where he went, and so I think that he loves the memory of her, but the reality of her being there, he's a different person now.
Exactly.
You know?
He's lived multiple lifetimes.
But then again, that old world sense of honor and everything.
Hope. Pause. Marion is to Robin as Daniel is to Regina. First love does not always equal true love. I buy that completely.
Very true.
100%.
Good job, Hope.
I will +1 that hope.
Okay, and to wrap it up here, Other Annemarie, you had a point about the frozen heart you wanted to make, right?
Yes. I reread The Snow Queen, or actually read it for the first time, I should say. It actually is 7 little stories, and the story itself is quite long, and the Snow Queen doesn't really enter into it very prominently, but for the frozen heart is. So it's kind of like the girl Gerda looking for the brother Kay, and in the end it all has to do with, as soon as the heart is frozen, you can't change it, which is what the movie Frozen was about. And when Regina pulled out the heart and said, "Oh, the heart is not frozen yet."
Oh, you're breaking up.
We're okay. So can we save Marion? I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
Yeah, it's gotten pretty bad. Like it's kind of like it skips like 20 seconds between words or something like that.
Want me to drop off?
You know what? Why don't we just go ahead and finish up here real quick? Just try and hang in there. I'll throw the arbitrary scale to you in a minute, and then you can just go ahead and we'll do the letters and stuff. Okay. But let's see here. Okay, so
arbitrary scale.
arbitrary scale.
While you're thinking of that, I would just like to point out that Other Annemarie put that mongoose eat cobras.
They do. They do.
So that's a fun fact.
Super fun fact. Super
Sorry,
fun
I
fact.
just like that because now we have Operation Mongoose.
Okay.
Not as fun to say as Operation Cobra.
Okay. Out of 1,322 shards of frozen Marion, how many shards of frozen Marion would you give this episode, Anne-Marie?
What was the number?
1,322.
Oh God, hold on. Go to the Other Annemarie.
Okay, Other Annemarie first. Out of 1,322 frozen shards of Marion, how many frozen shards of Marion would you give this episode?
1,057.6.
Why?
Because that's 80%.
I love that you did the math on that.
Yes, I was prepared. It was a lot better than last week.
Mm-hmm.
It's moving forward. It wasn't a wow episode like the first one, but we're moving forward, and I'm happy about it.
Excellent.
That's fair.
Okay, Annemarie Prime. Annemarie Alpha. Out of 1,322 icy Marion shards. I'll phrase it differently this time.
That's horrendous.
What do you give it?
Horrendous. 1,200?
1,200.
And an eyeball?
Why? Frozen eyeball.
Just because I wanted
like
to
a marble.
It's like a marble. It was a lot better than episode. I think I hope we're not going to do one of this whole every other thing like we did with Wonderland last year.
Oh yeah.
Because again, sharp things in my eyeballs. But I mean, it was good. I liked that there was different elements. There were things that did or should invoke emotion, but they weren't showing the emotion. Jeez, Patty, only 400 frozen shards of Marion, and it was entirely for the name.
That's low.
That's very low. Hope, however, is giving an 85% and is mad that we're making her do math. This is what you get from writers.
You should be Hope. Oh,
Marion breaks
and
into shards. Maybe she's Michael Lucero. If Marion breaks into shards, maybe she and Sydney will have some bonding to do. Side note: where's Sydney?
In the mirror.
Have your
So sad.
Okay, let's
go
ahead.
Yeah, what's yours?
Mine is I'm gonna give it 1,102 shards, frozen shards of Marion.
Frozen shards of Marion.
That you could put in a cup and then make a nice Marion smoothie.
I was gonna say a Marion margarita,
but I liked it.
I love the background. Gross.
I liked it a lot better than the past 2 weeks. Like, there were definitely big chunks of the past 2 weeks that I really enjoyed. But as I said earlier in the episode, I was a little worried moving forward that it was losing me. But this felt like classic ones. I do think it's a shame that they're taking what seems to be some of the most important scenes out of every episode.
Yes, the deleted scenes are better than half the episode.
To fill it with fluff or whatever. Like they could have
agree.
They could have cut one scene out of the whole Emma Hook plot line.
One of them. And
had that other scene, which was way more important. The one back in the
It actually
barn.
told you something.
Yeah.
It explained part of what happened in this episode. Patricia says she gives it 750 shards of frozen Marion, which is still pretty low. And Patty was yelling at her TV a lot.
Excellent.
So where people were yelling at their TVs for football at that time, you were yelling at Once Upon a Time. Blah! Love it.
Okay, Other Annemarie, you can stay, you can go. You're coming. You're okay sometimes. Sometimes you're not. But you don't have to feel like you want to stay or you need to stay. But we're gonna go ahead before we get onto the news. We are running long. We're like 54 minutes already.
Are we really?
Yeah.
Because we started way late. So just y'all know Regina.
Okay, but before we move on to the news, we want to take a quick minute to thank Audible for sponsoring this week's episode of Greetings from Storybrooke. Now, if you don't know what Audible is, it's a service. You go there, you sign up for a subscription. They give you 1 credit a month to use on any audiobook you want to listen to.
Any book you want.
Now, with busy lives today and everything, you're working, you're driving, this, that, and the other. You can't sit there and read a book. You have to be doing stuff with your eyes.
Man, I miss reading
with
books.
your hands, stuff like that. And audiobooks are great for that.
They're awesome for a commute. Let me tell you, I drive at least 2 hours a day. Love listening to books.
And so sometimes, they're even a time saver too, because I always listen to audiobooks at 1.5 or 2 times speed. And so, you know, where it might take me 12 hours to sit down and read a book, if I put it on the audiobook, I can clear it in 6. And so I can get more books in a month.
I don't know how you can like understand stuff at twice speed.
It takes practice, but you get used to it.
Okay.
Now, Audible is offering a free audiobook download for you guys, the listeners of Greetings from Storybrooke, with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out the service. We always like to recommend a couple of books. Annemarie, what's your recommendation this
Today
week?
I'm recommending The Snow Queen, an adventure in 7 stories by Hans Christian Andersen, narrated by B.J. Harrison.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of The Snow Queen. Nope.
What's the story of The Snow Queen?
I don't really know, but I thought it would be some good background reading / listening that I need to do.
Well, it says here that Kay and Gerda, actually, you know what? We already got that plot summary. So why don't we move on to my pick, which is a funny one this week. As soon as it redirects to Audible. Ice Cream Social, the struggle for the soul of Ben and Jerry's.
Oh my goodness, I didn't read soul in that. I just saw struggle in Ben and Jerry's. I was confused.
Ben and Jerry's are struggling. No, but it's a behind the scenes look at the empire of Ben and Jerry's and how they came to be. And there's some sort of struggle involved or something, but it's ice cream, so it's related to the episode, so it works. So if you want to, oh no, she dropped off. Other Annemarie dropped off.
Yes.
She actually signed up a couple weeks ago using the promo code, and she said it was super easy, and she was able to get in there and get her free audiobook real quick, real easy, not a lot of time to sign up or anything. If you want to do that, you can go to audibletrial.com/Storybrooke to download your free audiobook. Again, that's audibletrial.com/Storybrooke. And we want to thank Audible for sponsoring this week's episode of Greetings from Storybrooke.
Thank you, Audible.
And now, on to the news.
News. Side note, because I just doing that always thinks Deb is coming back.
Yes.
She's been out of wherever. We're not, I guess, allowed to know these types of things, but we got a Twitter message from her that I believe it's now 4 days and counting till she's back in, our airspace.
Yeah, Deb / Bunny, who we haven't talked to in a long time, and was one of our most frequent guests last year on Wonderland. She's going to be back, so we'll have her on real soon. Okay, let's see here. The ratings down a little bit. 7.7 million, 2.6 share, down 16 and 21% respectively. But it was up against the season premiere of The Walking Dead, I believe. So that's gonna probably take some numbers, and probably will until when's that wrap up? January or something?
Something like that,
I think. But let's see here.
Isn't this their last season?
What's that?
Isn't this their last season or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm making things up. Sorry.
I haven't. Okay, now we have a new promo for next week, which is kind of dark and creepy. We'll go ahead and play it and narrate it since we can't play the audio on here.
I love the narrations. Oh, they're going on a date.
Yes.
Precious.
And Hook is
getting his hand back.
Yes, he's going to get his hand back for one magical night.
Is it for one magical night?
I would assume so, because Rumple gave him his hand back, and I mean, Rumple doesn't do things.
Well, he did a trade of some sort.
But now he's looking the darkest dark one I've ever seen him, and he's telling Anna that she's going to have to kill him to fulfill her goals. And he looks more evil there than he might have in any episode ever. So
I wonder, I've noticed in their flashbacks, he's having lots and lots of more glittery age spots. So I wonder if that has anything to do with his level of evil.
It could have something. It could have something to do with age. It could have something to do with the makeup artist really enjoying
their job that day.
Yeah. And I want to mention that you can find all these stories in the show notes at greetingsfromstorybrooke.com. We do have a Tumblr post here that I wanted to point out real quick. This is another one of those that kind of shows the shots from Frozen lined up with their Once Upon a Time counterparts. And there's the one where it's all in the fight in the cave with Hans and his brothers. But several shots that the composition, the effects, everything look identical.
Right. And I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing.
I think it's a good thing. I think the references are kind of getting
excessive.
A little excessive. Like when you're giving let it go lines to Hopper, I think you might have taken a little too far.
Cross the line.
And let's see here. One last thing I wanted to point out here real quick is that me and Annemarie went and saw Frozen on Ice this past week. And Annemarie wrote up a big blog post review about it at her site, crunchycrafty.com. There's a lot of photographs, a lot of fun.
I may have
it was
been
a good
Olaf.
time.
The Charmings were there. I mean, oh, that's
Buzz
not the
and Woody
picture I
were
wanted
there
you to
too.
click on. Click on the Charmings.
The Charmings. Here are
You
the
may have seen
Charmings.
us tweet this because I was really excited. They were hello Cape. But that was exciting.
Here, real quick, 20 seconds. What were your impressions of Frozen on Ice overall?
I loved Frozen on Ice. I think they did a really good job. I mean, they obviously had to rearrange a couple of different scenes and the such, but I think
did you feel like it was the whole story?
Yes. I felt it was very complete, and for something like that, I'm kind of surprised. But no, yeah, I think I felt very whole and got the whole story. I do also think that their Kristoff looked a lot more like Kristoff than the Once Upon a Time one.
Oh yeah, like
definitely. A lot. He looked a lot more like the cartoon because I'm really not liking the one on Once Upon a Time. I'm sorry, Mr. Actor Boy.
Yeah, and I do. I personally, I have a much clearer sense of the Frozen story now too.
Yeah, it's about time
after seeing it, which is good, and I really enjoyed it. I thought the stagecraft was excellent, but I mean, it's Disney.
Yeah,
you expect that.
Oh my gosh, the costumes.
Minus one scene.
Which one?
Let It Go.
Oh gosh,
they did almost nothing for Let It Go. They basically
go back. There was a pretty picture.
Well, they can't see it anymore.
Well, they can if you put it back up.
Here.
Sorry.
I'm trying to remember what I was going to say. Oh yeah, they had a bare stage for Let It Go, and then it was just Elsa skating around, singing the song, and then they just bring out like this glass platform, and that was the entire like spectacle of it.
There was the things that came down that made a snowflake, which we really couldn't see because we were a little too close. It was very simple.
Yeah, like I was expecting, because that's the big scene, one of the big scenes in the movie, right? And they with spectacle and growing, I was like, what are they going to have, like a multi-level ice skating rink or something?
That would have been cool.
And like
that would have been cool.
All this stuff going on. And no, they just like they dragged out a platform and that was about it. But we definitely enjoyed it overall. And you can take a look at Annemarie's blog post over at greetingsfromstorybrooke.com by checking out the show notes for episode 95.
I can't believe we're on episode 95, by the way.
I know, right?
That's kind of insane.
We're going to wrap up here with some feedback real quick. As always, when you're done watching the episode, I want you to grab 2 chainsaws, start them up, and then I want you to hold them over your head, wave them around wildly, jump out your window, crawl in your bedroom or your bedroom window, and then sit down at your computer and email us at greetingsfromstorybrooke@gmail.com. You can tweet us at GFStorybrooke. The Facebook is facebook.com/greetingsfromstorybrooke. And the voicemail number is 424-274-2352. Again, that's 424-274-2352. Now let's see here. Someone who's been in our chat room tonight, we're going to start off with, who didn't have a very favorable view of the episode overall. She's the one who gave it the low score. Take it away, Patty.
Hey, Bill. Hey, Annemarie. I just finished the episode, and my only thoughts are, did everyone just turn completely stupid? I'm sorry, were they smoking marijuana, doing some cocaine on the side?
At first, I thought
clearly
hold on.
The only.
At first, I thought she was going to say, "Are they smoking marijuana cookies?" That would smell delicious.
Person who actually had on common sense was the knave. Everybody else had their stupid hats on, because clearly in the beginning, you have no excuse to why you didn't try True Love Kids. You've seen it work time and time again, and the first thing you don't do was try True Love Kids until Regina gets there. Clearly the writers were up to something, and they failed miserably because it made no sense. And then you have Rumpo and not magicking the little dagger. You know, the dagger which can summon you. Why did it? You just magic it so it will summon you, so that way you could clearly avoid a confrontation, which is going to happen. So there's a few annoying things. There's a whole entire list more, but I'll go up way too much of your time. I can't wait to hear your own thoughts on this. All right, bye.
Thank you very much, Patty. And since we're running late tonight, we'll go ahead and go right into Woo's voicemail right here.
I thought this episode was really solid. Rocky Road solid. Ice solid. Okay, I went too far. The dialogue was really good in past and in present time. I loved Regina and Henry's interaction, and I love that Henry didn't get angry over his mother's plans. He really does want everyone to get a happy ending, even the villains. I loved Killian and Gold's interaction. Loved that they referenced that they've had a past, because we've kind of forgotten that over the last 2 seasons. I loved the interaction between the Ice Queen and Gold. It kind of reminded me of old school Gold and Mayor Mills from season 1, in terms of you don't know really where either one of them stand, and you don't know if the Ice Queen is a force for good or a force for evil. Probably the funniest thing in the episode, though, was Regina's reaction to the bird painting in the mayor's office. I thought that was hilarious. I give this episode 6 urns out of 6. Talk to you guys later. Meeks, AMG, love you guys both. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much,
you,
Woo.
Woo.
We love you too.
That bird picture, I completely forgot about it.
That was a good joke.
That was
And
hilarious.
you know what? We didn't even mention the Dairy Queen joke.
Oh,
That was amazing. That was
Dairy
absolutely
Queen
amazing.
joke.
Okay, now, you know, when we have too many letters, most of the time we'll go ahead and put up a post over at greetingsfromstorybrooke.com, which we did this week.
Yes.
And we just wanted to run down through little thoughts everyone had, but you can go over there to read the full letters whenever you'd like. Okay, first up, Alina and many people said they agreed that the Snow Queen was likely Emma's foster mom. So does Emma have trust issues with ice cream now?
Apparently. Elle said she thought that the Crow messenger might have brought a return message to Henry after he contacted Regina by Crow. Shame they don't have a telephone. Oh, wait. Stupid Henry.
Stupid Henry. Erin said the whole Emma dating her ex's mom's ex thing didn't bother her that much. It's been like maybe 300 years. What's the half-life on dating your almost stepfather-in-law?
Oh, Chris Tipton said he loved Hook and the cell phone. Roland being all grown up. Okay, he's like 6. And Elizabeth Mitchell. We love his new feedback format. Check it out on the site.
And everybody loves seeing the Knave as it should be. Okay, Annemarie, you want to go ahead and read this first
Sure.
one from Jen, who we haven't heard from in about a year.
Oh, interesting. Hi, Bill and Annemarie. It's been a while. 1 year, Bill. Oh, that was from you.
Yeah, I put that in there.
Got you. Since I wrote in, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm so happy that Once is back. We are a few episodes in, and I'm kind of loving the Frozen storyline and the mystery behind it thus far. I missed you this summer. I usually listen during my walk, subway ride to work. Good time. A couple of times this summer, I missed having entertainment so much that I would listen to an episode commentary for lack of other options. Oh, I'm so sorry. But as you always
do
warn, right? If you were running to a subway train and not actively watching the episode, there weren't that easy to follow along.
Nope.
Long pauses. All I'm going to say. But I love hearing your voices regardless. A few thoughts. I liked this episode way better than last week. It kept my attention and moved the overall story along. And finally, the Knave. Bloody hell, Michael Socha is fun to watch and easy on the eyes. Wink. Although I don't really understand what he is doing in Storybrooke. Did he get pulled in with the last curse since he was part of the original curse? And is a merry man and we just didn't notice him until now? No. Why is he now a terrible person again? I mean, outright admitting you were stealing stuff during the blackout makes you kind of not very nice. We need more of his story ASAP. Scrolling. Elizabeth Mitchell, Dairy Queen, is amazing. She is just one of those actresses that I love to watch, and she is beautiful. Her dress was gorgeous. See, this is where we're gonna have to agree to disagree. This entire thing. Her scenes in the past with Elsa were great. It's easy to see why Elsa trusts her initially. Her relief in finding another person with powers is palpable. Could she be behind Elsa's powers in the first place, like the person who originally cursed her to get back at Elsa and Anna's mama? And
yeah, that was my thinking too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A little bit. And what was the way she recognized Emma, not Elma. I don't know who that is.
Elmo.
She definitely said her name in a very personal way, almost as if they were close. So did she take care of Emma when she was a child? The storylines do not feel like they should cross at all. Very interesting twist that I did not see coming. Okay, that's enough for now. I can't wait to hear your podcast this week. I give this episode 14 out of 18. Frozen solid, damsels in distress. Thanks, Jen from New York. # Team Annemarie.
No love for the team Bill Meeks.
Nope.
That's a shame.
Nope. This is Team Annemarie Day.
Okay, this next one's from Ash. You had to cut it down a little bit for time, Ash. But hey, Annemarie and Bill. Oh, before she wrote in last week too, and I think I messed up a joke or something. Oh, before I forget, Bill, the charming locks bit last week was my attempt at a joke. Writing them are way harder than saying them. That's for sure. Just saying ahem and now. Oh, sorry. Ahem. And now to the subject at hand. Loved how Emma got her confidence and Kristoff and I loved Kristoff and Elsa's adventure. Hans's 12 brothers kept making me think of the 12 Dancing Princesses fairy tale. Just saying. Marion getting frozen, not cool. I loved how they had mirrors all over the ice cream shop. A nice nod to the original Snow Queen fairy tale. Speaking of the Dairy Queen, I really loved her white outfit and the magical lighting in the scene with Shady Rumple. # Shady Rumple.
Nice.
Giving this episode 6.5 urns out of 10.
You skipped a paragraph.
Oh, sorry. Will / the Knave just made the episode 50% better for me. I hope they explain how and why he's there. Wonder if the Percy the White Rabbit is around somewhere. Wonder if we're going to get us # Save Anna this season. Giving this episode 6.5 urns out of 10. By the way, love the runes on the urns. So cool. Cheers and hugs, Ash. Thank you, Ash.
Yay, more people pointing out the runes. I feel like I need to go study. All right, this one's from Elizabeth. Hey, Bill and Annemarie. So I don't have time. Get on email, but let me write a quick message. In the case of Robin Hood, yay, he loves Regina, not Marion. I'm so happy. And I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say that the Snow Queen is an old foster parent of Emma or sibling or something. I think that they are related through the foster system somehow. I could say more this week, but I won't. I give this episode 253 ice cream cones out of 300.
And I just saw Hope point out in the chat room that they've said that we're not getting the Knave, what happened with the Knave, until the second half of the season.
And that's why I continue to say # Save the Knave.
Which is a shame.
It really is.
Like we said, if you want to, go ahead and grab your chainsaws, jump out your window, climb in your other window, get to your phone, computer, or carrier crow, and email us at greetingsfromstorybrooke@gmail.com. The Twitter is @GFStorybrooke. The Facebook is facebook.com/greetingsfromstorybrooke. And the voicemail number is 424-274-2352. Again, that's 424-274-2352. I also want to definitely apologize. We had some technical issues up ahead, and I think I kind of made the episode, gave the episode kind of like a manic feel.
It's felt a little like
But as soon as we're done here, I'm going to go ahead and capture my setup, and we shouldn't ever have that problem again. But Annemarie, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter @AMDeSimone or @CCHCblog. And as we showed you earlier, I blog over at crunchycrafty.com, foodstuffs, crafts, etc.
And as for me, you can follow me on Twitter @Bill Meeks. You can follow me on Google Plus at google.com/+BillMeeks, which is where we do these hangouts if you want to come in and join in the chat and get notifications. Good to follow me there. And I also started a new podcast a couple weeks ago. It's a short form interview podcast called Hey You What's Up. It's at heyyouwhatsup.com. And tomorrow, Rebecca Johnson, you guys might know as the former host of the Operation Cobra podcast. She talks to me about her trip to go see the season finale back in the spring.
So cool.
A lot of fun. Okay, well, I guess that's it. No more technical issues next week.
No, we got this.
We got it.
We're taking screenshots.
Well, I guess then until next week.
Greetings from Storybrooke.
Now, guys, people watching the video, not going to do Prison Bill tonight because it was really crazy with the technical stuff. But I did think of a little bonus I can throw you guys before we shut down the live video. Give me 1 second here. I'll go ahead and stop the recording.
Yes, stop the recording. We don't need, I don't know what you have going on.
But I thought, this was something I didn't want to put out there because it seemed like, I don't know, tacky or something to do because we didn't win the Parsec Awards.
Are you putting out our acceptance?
Yeah, I was gonna play them the rhyming acceptance speech we recorded that they didn't end up using. But I thought that would be a fun little bonus here at the end, since I can't do Prison Bill tonight because I'm all like, Annemarie, greetings from Storybrooke won.
That award we were up for?
Yeah, isn't that fun?
We should thank all our listeners.
And the judges who voted.
And our fellow nominees.
Who never once gloated.
And to Adam and Eddie.
Who created Once Upon a Time.
This award is for you.
Thanks for your time. And that was it. Yeah.
I teared up a little.
What's that?
I teared up a little. I'm emotional.
That was so fun.
It was so fun.
The 6 hours we spent recording that.
No, we didn't.
Hey, and 6 people stuck around for that. So
yes.
Good time.
Good job, 6 people.
Okay. Bye, YouTube.
Bye, guys.
If I can hit